Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Games and Things, pool tables and all the accessories, dartboards and all the accessories, table tennis, foosball, shuffleboard tables. If you're looking for home entertainment items, you will find no better supplier than Games and Things. Get out and see Scott and Lisa Mellon this week. They do a tremendous job out in West Knoxville, or you can visit their website, ourgameroom.com, Games and Things. Okay, last week, due to we did a tribute to Johnny Majors for the full show, so we didn't have a chance to talk about Jeremy Pruitt marching with and then speaking with his players at a protest rally in Knoxville. There was a little blowback on Twitter. I think at least one person who said, I'm demanding a ticket refund because he's injected himself into politics. Depends on your point of view, I guess. Certain things, in my view, are politics. If you're telling me who to vote for, other things are right and wrong. But do you think he's going to cost himself any support by doing this? What's been the response on radio?
The majority of the response I've seen has been positive and supportive and in some ways thankful of not only what Jeremy Pruitt has had to say, but how he has represented himself. Like you mentioned the ESPN radio interview that he did, he's not doing that interview if not for what happened a little more than a week ago with his players. So they were talking about that. I also thought he had a lot of good things to say. He was informative, said that he's been talking to other coaches about what they should do to support the players. So there has been some negativity, there will be some, but just about everything that I have seen that's come my way has been really positive and supportive of Jeremy Pruitt.
Chuck, do you think there's going to be some people didn't like it.
Right.
But is it enough people? This is a very conservative area, although this seems to be crossing party lines at this point. But it's a conservative area. Do you think he's given himself a shorter leash in any way if he loses? If this is a disappointing year for some reason, is the leash a little shorter with some fans because he dared to stand there with his players?
I would certainly not hope so. If anything, I think like Josh says, I think it's just the opposite. Jeremy Pruitt said, hey, it took a lot of courage to do this, and he thanked the people who were there. I mean, peaceful assembly and protest is a First Amendment right, and he's supporting his players. I mean, and they even followed CDC guidelines. I think there were 10 players, and they had the mask. So, no, I mean, and I read a Mark Wiedmer column in Chattanooga that said that's the kind of leadership that helps win championships, so I liked it.
Yeah, I would commend Jeremy Pruitt for what he's done. I think he's done a good job. I also agree. I've listened to everything I think that he said. I haven't heard anything political from Jeremy Pruitt. Yeah. So I think if somebody's complaining about Jeremy Pruitt inserting politics, that person's the one that's inserting politics.
And one last real quick point. It wasn't just Jeremy Pruitt at Knoxville and the University of Tennessee players. It was several college campuses and communities where there were coaches and players who walked together.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's carry this over to the next segment. I want to talk about Tennessee's been lucky in some ways. There are other schools that are getting dragged into a lot of this in ways that they don't want to be. Tennessee's avoided that. But what happens if protests come to Knoxville? That's simple. What is the reaction then? We'll discuss that. Come on back on the Sports Source.